Hey you folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Sid Meier's Civilization 5 as the Immortal Poland. Now I have to apologize, a lot of people in the chat, or in the comments have been telling me that this is not the first Immortal cultural victory. The Romans were, and I was like, no, the Romans were on Emperor. And I just went and double checked, and no, I'm completely wrong. My bad. We have done an Immortal cultural victory, and as the Romans, and it was only 2 series ago. I really got confused about my timelines. I hadn't thought I'd played this many Immortal games, so I'm feeling a little bit redundanty. We have done we've done a diplomatic victory. We've done a domination Immortal victory. We have not actually done an Immortal science victory, to the best I can tell. The looks like the Incas were domination, the Romans were cultural, and the Shoshone were diplomatic. So I feel a bit of a derp here because, frankly, science victories feel like my default victory types, which is why I've been avoiding it. But apparently it's the one I have to do. That being said, we are on the road to a cultural victory, so we will continue to go that way. It would be silly to change paths partway through, but just had to clear that up. My bad. I was positive that was my first Immortal cultural victory. So, Garden is finally done in Warsaw, which is good, because Warsaw is our primary specialist construction zone. Do we still want great writers? I believe that is the case, actually. Let me go and double check. Yeah, we need 2 more great works of writing, so that is fine. We do need a musicians guild relatively soon, because we need to pop out some unique musician type people, but I think it makes more sense to finish the opera house. A bank would be good, an armory in Warsaw would be good, because I do want to build military units here, although I think we are going to continue to focus on culturally significant buildings. It might make sense to pump out a windmill as well, just to accelerate all of our future production. You know what, we're going to go ahead and do that. I think it's well worthwhile. We can adopt another policy. Now, I think last video or a couple of videos ago, I was talking about, I don't know if I need to go all the way down to scientific revolution, but the fact of the matter is, I've got 3 friendships going on. In fact, I can sign another research agreement, potentially, over here. We've both got the money. I bet I can do it. So I think it's pretty clear that we are going to want to go down to scientific revolution. So do we need to rush the completion of aesthetics yet? Doubles the theming bonus. We don't have much in the way of theming now. Do we have any theming right now? I thought we had, no, we don't. We might be able to work one, though. We need great works filled with art from the same era and civilization. We have Renaissance Polish. We have Renaissance Polish. I hate that it didn't just, like, automatically put it there. So we do have some theming bonuses going on already. Also, we get a bigger tourism bonus. I think we're going to delay this. Well, we are going for a cultural victory, and it is important. Right now, that doesn't make a big difference, whereas the earlier we unlock scientific revolution, the quicker, the better things will be. Sovereignty should give us a few bucks as well. Yeah, there we go. Give us 11 gold per turn, which is nothing to sneeze at. We've got some growth. We've got a session. We've got Malacca and all of us. The Taj Mahal has been completed. That's the other thing I'm trying to remember here. We are trying to get 1 wonder everywhere. In Rock, can I faith buy great engineers yet? No. But soon, we just need to get into the next era, which in 6 turns will enter the industrial era, and I believe that is what we need to be able to faith buy great engineers. So 6 turns from now, how much? Well, we don't have much in the way of faith right now. We only have 4 faith sitting right now, but we can start building it, which means we could rush by a wonder, like, say, the porcelain tower here in Rocklaw, which may be worth getting started on, just to get that extra bonus. Realize Rocklaw's still not a great city, but there you have it. Hopefully we can complete this Uffizi. We still have ourselves on production focus. Yes, we do. And if I get a chance, I may send some internal trade routes over here, just to try to bump that up. So that we don't get beaten, because it does feel like there's a couple of civs out there that are trying to go for a farm here for cultural type victory, or at very least they're trying to snag a lot of cultural stuff. Oh, derp! Yes, thank you very much. I'm happy you remembered Indonesia, because I forgot to actually reset that in all our discussion of our social policies here. So let's move forward. What do we have over here? A missionary is complete. Let me just double check internally. Internally, I'm fine. Here, we're fine. So I think the idea is to keep sort of fighting for a little bit of a border over here. We'll go and see if we can convert Budapest over. But the more we can stem the tide of Catholicism here, the better for us. Because A, we want to keep our tithe going on, but there's also a variety of political considerations, not to mention the fact that we get more tourism bonus. We get, what, 25% more if we do manage to share a religion? Which right now is most likely only going to be with with Indonesia, but we'll see how it goes. Here, why don't we go with mutual open borders? That way I will give you the extra tourism boost. Again, right now those multipliers aren't making a huge difference because we're only making 10 tourism per turn. But they will be much more significant later on. But still, it's probably worth starting to accumulate a few of those points here and there and save ourselves a little bit of effort later on. Yeah, if we can convert those guys, it'd be nice, which might mean a great profit. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, we're maxed out on trade routes. We've got, we are unhappy. We've got decent money. And we've got various defensive structures kicking around. We do have our Polish great prophet there, if I recall correctly. Wasn't he going to convert Istanbul? I think that might be true. You are being blocked. I guess take one step forward, and then we'll have you wait. We are a bit behind on military tech. Everyone's rocking musketmen. But I think finishing archaeology is going to be very, very valuable. It would be nice if we could build the Louvre, which does require us to unlock exploration. Yes, yes. And unfortunately, the exploration opener is pretty weak, and especially on this map. So we're not going to prioritize it, but unlocking museums is good, but also just getting those archaeological sites as quickly as possible before the AI steals everything would be nice. We have our plantation there. I'm going to get close to starting to automate these workers. Oh, over here. I will go ahead and build a farm on this site. And we could use a little bit more production in the capital, but honestly, a food self-sustaining tile, like a 2 food, 2 production, it's got to be better than 3 production. I like having an option of getting like a super mine, plus it does improve later on, but for now it's fine. So those tiles are all done. 1, 2, 3. We could drop a mine on this hill over here, which would be quite nice. Budapest will move forward and throw down a little bit of conversion. Is that enough to flip you? It is. Wow, there's a lot of religious pressure from Catholicism. Holy cow. Wow. They might have taken some increased spread ideas, all that kind of jazz. Keep saving up the faith. The faith accumulation is actually not bad. I don't know how much our first great engineer will be. Will it be like 1,000? I actually don't know how it starts. I mean, obviously... Wow, we got beaten to the Uffizi. We had quite a few turns left to go, but it's actually incredibly disappointed. Faraway land. I don't even know where it was built. It's actually very disappointing, though, because it is a nice wonder for us. Porcelain Tower. We just switch over to that. Probably, yes. I do want to make sure I've got a wonder in as many cities as I can for the multiplier. And the Porcelain Tower is actually pretty good for us. Hopefully we can get it. Tech-wise, we're doing really well for ourselves. I mean, we're number 3 overall, which is actually not bad at this stage in the game, against an Immortal level set of AIs, just because they start with so many bonuses. I'm just looking for more tiles to improve. There's a little bit of desert there. I think we can, maybe we can't drop a farm on that one. I don't know if we can drop one here. We could drop one there. I guess we can build farms wherever we want now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this hill would be great to improve. Yeah, we've got a missionary in the way for now, but that won't be there forever. So you have converted. I think we're going to go ahead and send you into Zulu territory. These are the Zulus, right? Yeah. Zulus. We have open borders. Okay, good. So we won't get our effectiveness reduced. People are always saying, "Oh, you don't need open borders for, missionaries and great prophets." Yeah, but if you're walking through territory that you don't have open borders with, then you eat a bunch of sort of attrition on your missionaries, which is no good. We don't want that. Yeah, that's good. We have friendship as well, don't we? If you have a cooperation or a friendship agreement, you can get I think 8 gold is the magic thing. If I try 9, no, but 8, that's fine. So there you go. To squeeze out a few extra gold pieces when we do have some friendship going on. That is a lot. These are all great profits as well. Kind of annoying. Jakarta actually just flipped, which is making me unhappy. Wow, yeah, our followers got reset like crazy, probably because of a great profit. We do have to do a trade. I had proposed the standing army tax beforehand to try to curb the Zulus. Excuse me. If I vote for this, it will also upset them. There's something to be said about getting arts funding. I suspect arts funding will pass no matter what. The AI loves to pass art funding, and usually I'm quite opposed to it. But in this case, getting more, great artists, great writers, artists, and musicians is relatively helpful. It sucks that we'll get fewer scientists, engineers, and merchants, but honestly, our great people slots are mostly going to go towards the artsy-fartsy types anyway. And it doesn't affect the cost of us faith-buying engineers. So I guess I will go ahead and still vote towards the standing army tax. It probably won't pass, but arts funding almost certainly will. Okay, caravan has finished in woods. I was thinking internal trade route, which means I will have to move this caravan to another city. Like, say, well, I know Warsaw's got a bunch. It doesn't really matter why I put it for an internal trade route, as long as it's got, what, a forge? I think that's what we need. So, Poznan doesn't have one. Is it the forge, or is it the workshop? Oh, okay, it's the workshop, which the capital does have, and Poznan doesn't have. So, we will move you... Oops, wrong button. We will move you to Warsaw, and then next turn you'll be able to send production over to Woods, and to try to boost its wonder production. That's kind of crappy. Wow. What a surprise! The Zulus have a crap ton of units. We might not be able to reach Namamba, but we'll still do our best to try to reach Istanbul, at least. We'll see what we can do. And if we can get that mutual religion bonus, A, it's good for diplomacy, and B, we get more cultural spread. So, that's all good. Mutual open borders sounds fine, buddy. I know it's very helpful for you because you actually are boxed in. Yes, we're going to keep that up. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at the cultural screen and see what our stats are. Holy crap, these great profits. What the hell are you doing, Inca? Okay, lots of events right away. We finished Archaeology, which dropped us into the Industrial Era. We also got a Great Writer all at the same time because we went into a new era and we are Poland. We get a new policy, which means we're going to get a scientific revolution right now, which is going to be great because, again, we have 3 research agreements going on. As long as we can maintain our peace status, that's going to be good. What's my status on Oxford? I actually have no idea. Tell you what, I will research scientific theory. Oh, we're 2 turns... No, that's a castle. Probably I'm not even working on Oxford, aren't I? Yeah, indeed. Listen, after you finish this castle... Oh, we need... that's right! We need a university in Poznan. I forgot about that. We have the money. What a derp between episodes here. We're going to purchase the university. And because we have the National College in Krakow... There we go, which gives you 50% extra bonus. It seemed reasonable that I build Oxford there. I'm going to go ahead and finish that castle anyway. It's going to be fine, and then we'll start on Oxford now. We'll start on scientific theory, because we'll finish it first. We'll unlock the public schools, and then we'll probably... We should backfill some technology. Certainly, at the very least, gunpowder. We might want to work our way up to rifling. I'm going to hope we can live without it. Fertilize, like all sorts of really, really good stuff. But the thing is, I really want to get to refrigeration for hotels. Do we beeline it? I don't know. Revealing the aluminum is pretty good. I feel like we've got to... I mean, I'm going to get at least gunpowder. Fertilizer is critical. Since we're not going on the attack, we don't need to worry about rushing dynamite. But there's a lot of good tech down here. Bonus production from mines. You know what? I think we're going to go gunpowder, chemistry, fertilizer. And then we'll probably start our way up to refrigeration. I think it's going to be very important to backfill this. We do have a couple of spies going on, too. The other thing is, if we went... How far are we from actually stealing something? We have a spy that's unassigned. Oh, the new era. Right. The Indonesians are still ahead of the tech curve. I forgot to load the Info Addicts mod and stuff, so it's hard to get additional information. Here's the thing. Egypt was doing pretty well, and they're still ahead in score, which might mean they have great technology. They've got 38 technologies versus my... 30. I have more technologies than Egypt. 38, 39, 38, 40 for Portugal, 40 for Indonesia. I guess we'll put our spy in Portugal. I'm a little concerned about pissing off my allies. But I'm starting to doubt our ability to steal any tech. So what I was going to say is we might be able to steal rifling. And I suppose we might at some point. The AI does like to grab military techs, so as long as we unlock metallurgy, we'll be able to do that. What else does metallurgy give us? Nothing we really need to worry about. It would be nice to steal rifling, but I think I'm going to skip researching metallurgy after fertilizer. We're almost certainly going to go up to refrigeration. The advantage of that, too, it reveals aluminum and oil, which can be valuable trade commodities, not to mention give us a huge production boost. So, what do we need to prioritize? One versus the other. Kind of samey. I guess we'll prioritize the electricity. I mean, I do like to get the hospitals up. On the other hand, hydro plants. So we'll do something like that. Again, we're going to stay a little weak on the military side, but hopefully our diplomatic situation holds out for us. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, you are going to send production over to Woods. Like that. Oh, my voice. What's happening? It's going away. You have finished a farm on this tile, which is wonderful. Woods needs a lot of help. Do we even have a camp on the deer? We do not. So we should probably focus on that. We should actually get some more workers over there. But for now, we're going to make a mine on this hill here. We're going to continue to try to advance towards Istanbul that way. This great writer can go and create a great work. What are you going to make for me, buddy?
There is no man, however wise.
Del Proust. À la recherche du temps perdu. Search of lost time. Convinced we're ever going to be able to get to that city. But they've probably got some other cities. We'll see what we can do. Good time to scout. Oh, right! And we've revealed Antiquities sites. That's right, Antiquities. When old people try to twerk, they're Antiquities. We got our spy, great person. Arts funding passed, not a surprise. Standing army tax fails, also not terribly a surprise. And maybe I shouldn't have done it, because it's probably just going to upset these people. Yeah, they disliked my proposal. I don't know if they cared about my actual vote. If it passed, I think they'd be pissed. So we do need to start on our archaeologists super fast, because we don't want anyone to steal our stuff, especially since we do have the open borders. But also, we may have beaten a lot of these guys to archaeology, which means they're not even going to be aware of their sites within their borders. I like that the Incas are getting attrition. Holy crap! More missionaries, more great prophets. I mean, it's all we're going to do to keep our own religion in our own cities. World Congress welcomes city-states, which I don't think I have any yet. We don't have any gold missions, do we? We do, actually. 2 of them, including one from the cultural place, which seems like a pretty good idea. We can't ally, but we can become pretty good friends over here, and I think that's worthwhile doing. So we're going to go ahead and do that, just to get a little bit more of a culture boost, since that is our thing. Choose the host. If I vote for the Incas, they'll be happy. It doesn't actually make a difference one way or another. But voting for a loser, I don't think makes a difference. So, in any case, we'll go ahead and vote for the Incans, which are someone else we need to keep on our side. They're very big, they're relatively dangerous, and they could decide to invade my capital, which would make me kind of sad. We've got walls here. I don't think we've actually got a castle in the capital. I should probably do something about that, but, you know. YOLO. Caravan, you... Oh, right, we can't actually add more production over there. I could move you to another city to send more production to Woods, or I could actually start feeding production to Rockla, which would be nice. Tell you what, how much do we need? We do need 1,000 for the Great Engineer. We are definitely aiming towards that. The idea is, hopefully, we will line it up so we can get a wonder in Rockla. We're sending food to Poznan, which is now starving. Just reset the tiles over here. Really? No, you're still starving. Really do need to get some workers down there. We just need more workers in all. More production over here. 30-turn trade route. We've got quite a few turns left there, and I don't want to get beaten to that wonder. So tell you what, I will move you to... oh, right, we need to make sure there's a workshop. And there is a workshop. Okay. I will move you to Rockla, and then we'll send some production to Woods next turn. Worth it. You know, this scouting is actually worthwhile if we can spot more antiquities site. Oh, and city-states. The vision on missionaries is very poor, because they're not meant to be abused as scouts, but still nice to have. I think I sent you up here to build a mine on this hill, which is probably still worthwhile, because getting extra production over here is very valuable, but I do need to send some more workers down here, and I need to build more workers. I need to build workers, I need to build archaeologists. In fact, Warsaw's got some important stuff to do, but I'm really thinking we might want to prioritize squeezing out archaeologists. After you do the windmill? Yeah. Build me a couple right away. I realize you've got some important buildings to build, but we need to snag that stuff before we lose it. Bursaw's actually of my religion. How long has Bursa been there? I never noticed. We're going to go ahead and convert Istanbul. Lovely. And this caravan is going to send production over to there. You are going to build me a mine. And we could try to do a little bit of conversion on the city-state. It's pretty hard. But then again, I'm not sure I can reach Nabamba. Actually, I'm not sure I can reach this tile either. At least here we should be able to go out to sea. So yeah, some starvation, some extra borders. That's some mountains, which doesn't count. That is 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually is workable by woods. And over here, a little bit more desert tile. There we go. It's actually turning out to be a acceptable city with all the improvements, not to mention if we can feed in some more internal trade routes. But we do need to maintain external trade routes. Okay, Red Fort. Shaka enters the industrial era, which they probably did it through military. Oh, they've gone and built a little city over here. We've got more religious pressure our way. Good. Now, it does suck that eventually our borders will touch, and that can trigger a Zulu invasion. There we have it. So that is a complete farm, even though it's a little bit derpy on the terrain. I'm going to send this worker right away to Poznan to try to improve things. Their food situation is still not very good. I'm going to maybe start by improving the camp since they're already working it. Or I could start building some farms since they do need food pretty desperately. And I'm going to go ahead and improve a tile. They're already going to work. So you've converted that. That's great. We're going to, I suppose, send the prophet over to try to convert that. Jakarta's actually converted all the way. What's the religious pressure looking like, though? Plus 48 from us. And there's no actual pressure from the religious stuff yet, but once these cities pop over, then they will have mutual pressure with each other. There's something to be said about sending my, since I can't reach that, there's something to be said about sending my prophet back down to the south to fix that situation. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's a long trip, but I think it's worth doing. We could also get just a missionary or something. So the question is, if I go and do this, is there any point, or is it just going to be lost and wasted? I'm going to keep exploring with this missionary for now, because A, I don't think I can flip the city, and B, I think it'd flip right back, which makes it kind of a silly, pointless move. All right, I think we're going to bring this episode to a close. I still like our situation. I think we can still do the cultural thing. Egypt is doubling our cultural output. They are going to be the problem child. If we take a look at our influence by player for us, and the other thing is we don't have any modifiers with Egypt to really force them over. But a lot of the other modifiers are doing okay. It still says rising slowly, but we should start to skyrocket in our tourism output relatively soon. Mostly it'll be about getting those hotels opened up. We can build them everywhere. They're going to do hopefully relatively well for themselves. We'll see how it goes. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.